Hi there, welcome to Neppy Invest, and welcome to a fairly short answer and reply video. I just want to get through some of your questions and your comments. And instead of going all the way back 2 weeks ago, just going to look at a few of your comments you have released or given me in the last few days. Now, I did talk about this particular comment from Swimming 11. Can you explain what closing option is, please? I did mention that particular question in my ASX Daily Rundown video released on the 25th of June. So I am recording this on the 24th of June. Current time is 3:45. So we're about 15 minutes away from the closing auction. So I've got to enunciate my words a little bit better. Not closing option, closing auction. So when we get to the closing auction, I'll show you what happens. I sort of mention it in that ASX Daily Rundown video. So that's the last question I will talk about. And I only have 10 minutes. I have to talk about that in 15 minutes. And I have a 10-minute window to talk about that particular question. So let's go to Rahul Kalayan. Hi, Deppy. Any chance you could, this is a very long question, could cover your indicator settings for the short? I am going to do a standalone video on this. I think it's important. I get a lot of questions about this. My indicator settings, my short and long-term moving averages, and I think I should do a standalone video because the amount of questions. So wait up, not, I was going to say wait up for that question, but that's the wrong way to put it because it may be quite a few days before I release that video. So do not wait up or wake up or wait up because you'll be very tired by the time I release that particular video. Anyway, I had a look at your recent videos, as I think you may have already covered it, but I couldn't find the exact video. Okay. I also took a position in DroneShield after its pullback yesterday. I wish I'd taken a position sooner. However, after I noticed the 15% drop in share price the last 2 days, I decided to take a position. I have really been trying to improve my timing, exactly what I'm doing. So I may not be the best person to talk about, but I have a feeling a lot of people have trouble with their timing and waiting for pullbacks, as this is a weak point I have identified in my trades. I'm also weak at that, something I want to improve upon. I ended up taking a position at $1.50 today. I do like DroneShield and would like to hold the company long term as well. What are your thoughts on this? I'm going to talk about the bear case for DroneShield. Now, let's have a look at DroneShield today. I didn't see it in the worst performers or the best performers, so hopefully it's not. So it's down a little bit down. I think the selling is coming to an end. There was a little bit of rally today. Share price got as high as $1.59. So we have seen a little bit of selling coming in today. So it's not the best one-day candlestick, but that's okay. We expected a pullback eventually. Whenever the share price runs like DroneShield has shown, it will eventually pull back. But when that pullback happens, don't know. How far the pullback happens, just don't know. Some people use Fibonacci rules, like 50%, 60%, so it's 33%. I don't know Fibonacci rules, but we just don't know. What I typically look at and should look at more is little dips into my short-term moving average channels or even the longer-term moving average channels. And DroneShield has shown that consistently. It showed it back in March, showed it back in April, and showed it again in May. 3 times it has dipped into my shorter-term moving average channel, and then share price takes off. In fact, the last time it did it, I thought I should add to my position. Yes, I should add to my position, and I did not do it. So I have now answering your question. Well, if you like the company for the long term, today could be a steal for you. There is a lot of excitement in this company, and the question is, has that excitement driven the share price and valuation of this company too hard? But if you think and are bullish on this company long term, $1.50 could be an absolute steal. Maybe in 10 years' time, the share price of this company is $15, $150. Who knows? Anyway, so that's my thoughts on it. And the other thing, another way to look at this is if you plan on holding a company for the long term, timing may not be that important. It's probably not important. You could have bought shares at $1.55, bet $1.50, and if you do hold this company for 10 years, that timing is almost irrelevant, particularly if the share price and valuation of the company has 10 bagged for you. Would you have waited any longer for any? Yeah, that's my feedback is if you plan to hold a company for the long term, timing is not that important. Timing is more important when you're only thinking of trading. Thank you, Rahul Kalaya. Daniel L. Rosales. Okay, that's interesting question. Two questions from, I'm not sure I would discuss those just yet. Groovy Shoes, hi Nappy, I think AGL might be meeting your breakout rules. Now, I am a shareholder, a trader of AGL. I have not looked at AGL share price or chart just yet today. Now, in saying that, it did pop up on my 3-month high screener because the share price is at a 3-month high. So I am trading AGL. I took a initial position at $9.18 on the 18th of April. I think I was a little bit premature. I could have been a little bit more patient. Now, in saying that, share price has not dropped below my buy-in price. Then I added to my position on the 7th of May at $10 because the company released a positive announcement. It was a trading update. Pretty sure it could have been a profit upgrade, if I remember correctly. Was it 7th of May? What was it again? It was the 7th of May. I was right. AGL. Updated financial year 24 guidance. It was a profit upgrade. And one thing I'm trying to do is build on my winners. So this was an announcement I'm always looking for. Share price popped up, share price in an uptrend. So I added to my position at $10. And right now, that decision, pretty good because share price now at $10.62 and the share price is in an uptrend. And as I was discussing, looking at Drone Shield, notice what happens when the share price dipped into my short-term moving average channel. Dipped in there for a little bit and then has taken off again. So this is another instance of using the short-term moving average channel as an indication or a support zone. That's probably the best way to say it. It's a support zone. Not always the case, but I have seen this happen a lot. So thank you. Thank you, Groovy Shoes, AGL. Liam Jones says, ResMed is so exhausting, was getting so close to taking profits. I don't know why. I was actually close too. I don't know why people think these drugs are competition to ResMed. They are always used in combination with their products. That is absolutely true. In fact, I believe the CEO has said that. In fact, these drugs are beneficial to ResMed and people using apnea. And if anything, attract new customers for ResMed. Absolutely right. Now, this is from the CEO. I got this information from the CEO, not personally, but I have heard this CEO say that. So this actually could be beneficial for ResMed in the long term. And even Motley Fool, not the Australian edition, the American edition, said, oh, these new Eli Lilly sleep apnea drugs might be harmful for whoever. Are they sleep apnea drugs or weight loss drugs? I don't know which drug this is. But thank you, Liam Jones. You, instead of me going on a rant, you have gone on a rant, but it's an exactly right rant. Now, what has happened to ResMed share price today? I wouldn't be surprised if it's had a little bounce because of an overreaction from the market. And, well, not much of a bounce, but it has bounced a little bit, up 1.14%. This is sort of a negative chart, by the way, negative one-day candlestick. But I think this is, again, overreaction from the market. Happened 1 year ago, almost 1 year ago, and the market completely overreacted. And I think this is another case of that. Thank you, Liam Jones. 7 minutes before the closing auction. So exciting. Okay, Hutcho says, Cettire going under $1. The rich are holding onto cash. Well, I'm not rich, so I have no idea. Although technically I am a millionaire. Technically I'm a millionaire, and I actually am increasing my cash levels. So what is the definition of rich? That's the question. Would I consider myself rich? No, but there's other people who would say I am rich. I only work part-time. I don't need to work full-time. I'm building up my wealth quite well. I have a lot of assets. So in a way, I am rich. And what am I doing? I'm holding on to cash. Well, I'm actually building up my cash levels. Yeah. So, but the thing is, I would never buy stuff from Cettire, and I never buy stuff like that. There's another question asking where I shop for clothes. I might get to that. Anyway, so you'll see what I mean by that. Forrest Hill says, what are your thoughts on CTT medium term? Worth buying dip? I'd say no. And the reason I say that is I have no idea where the share price is going to go. And if I have no idea, why would I even think about buying shares? The chart looks absolutely ugly. No reason to think that there might be a bounce. I thought there might have been a bounce today. There wasn't a bounce today. In fact, share price is down today, down almost 2%. So In the short term, medium term, I have no idea which way the share price will go. I expected a bounce. We haven't seen a bounce just yet. Share price could fall a lot from here. So I have no idea which way the share price is going to go from here. But the market has spoken. Shelley Dugmore says the results didn't seem that bad. I didn't think the results were that bad, but again, I am not as smart as the market as a whole. So the market has spoken. That's what I look at, how the market reacts, and the market just went, these results were terrible. That announcement was terrible. I would never say it's market manipulation. No, I don't go down that route ever, never. The only time I would say there is market manipulation is during the closing auction. You see that a lot. Whenever you see one share traded at the end of the closing auction, that's when you know there's been a bit of market manipulation going on, but that manipulation doesn't really make a difference. Sometimes it does, though. Sometimes you see a share price drop or rise by 5% on one share traded at the or during the closing auction. And Forest Hill has said it again, time to buy the dip. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe now is the best time to buy Cettire. But I didn't like what they mentioned, how business is going in the last few months? Maybe the last month. It's weakening. I don't like that bit of sentiment. BVS Trade, Cettire. I wanted to talk about City Chic and Blundy, but I wanted to spend a bit of time on that. And I wanted to spend a bit of time on this as well. Talking about corporate travel management. There was nice, really nice discussion in here. And I need a bit more time spending on that. Oh, here we go. Ian Bentley says, hi, Neppy, if you don't shop at Rivers, then where do you shop? I don't shop anywhere for clothes. And I am actually that's a little bit of a lie. The last time I bought clothes to wear in normal conditions, when I say normal conditions, not running or walking, is 2017. And I went on a trip to America, United States and Canada. It was a 2-month trip to my favorite parts in the world. I love in Western United States and America. I don't like cities. I love mountains. And my favorite part in the world, I've been all over the world. My favorite part of the world is Western United States and Canada, just because of diversity when it comes to nature. There was one day, this was in September, we were caught in a snowstorm, 8 inches of snow going over a mountain towards Lake Tahoe. This was the last day of winter. 3 days later, after doing numerous hikes up mountains, 3 days later, we were in Death Valley, and it was 43 degrees Celsius on that day. This was within 200 kilometers, maybe, of it snowing previously, because there was people don't know this. The highest point in the lower 48 and the highest point in the lowest 48 are divided by about 200 kilometers. So Mount Whitney is the highest mountain and Death Valley is the lowest point, and there's not far between these two spots. Might be even less than 200 kilometers. In fact, we're going on a bit of a tangent. Mount Whitney, is it Whitney? Yeah, Whitney. Distance to Death Valley. It's not Death Valley, it's what's it called? Furnace something. Furnace Creek. Could be Furnace Creek. And the distance is 115 miles, which times that by 1 point. So every 60 miles is 100 kilometers. So that's 200 kilometers by road. So not as the dove flies. So Mount Whitney's is the highest point. So the lowest to highest. Here it is, the hiking life. Lowest to highest. So Death Valley to Mount Whitney, 217 kilometers. There you go. It's actually right. Oh, didn't have to Google that. Anyway, so what I did on that trip, funny enough, was I bought clothes every single day. I bought a shirt every single day to commemorate. I didn't plan this, to commemorate my trip. So I bought about 50 tops, and I have not gone back into a clothing store since then. However, I do buy on occasion running clothes, so shirts and shorts. That's the only clothes I have bought, and I don't go into, where is it? Don't go into Rivers store, even though it's just up the road, because I don't have to buy any shirts. So let's go back to this closing auction, because the time is now 3:59. So let's have a look at a company that is traded a lot. So we'll go to Telstra. Why not? Telstra Group. Share price up 0.41%. And there is trading going on. Course of sales. Here he is. The reason I chose this is because there's trading every single second. 359.55. We're going to see trading stopped. Right? Now it's finished. Okay, so there's no buying at 359 and 59 seconds. So now we're in the closing auction. So you'll notice, if you look at the bids, we have someone wanting to sell or buy. Someone wanted to buy at $3.92. Someone wanted to sell at $3.46. Do you think they're going to get that price? No. So what the system does at 4:10, give or take about 15 seconds or something like that, what the system does, it matches all the bids on the buy side and the sell side. So it looks at the highest bid. So it looks at this bid at $3.92, and it matches everything up with the sell bids, and we get to a closing price. So if this was the only trade, I'm going to see if I can get, I'm going to bring up another example. Something that is not liquidly traded, and you might see the share price drop a fair bit on the closing auction. So let's have a look at EZZ. It could happen with this company. No, so we have no buys or sells. So in this case, so share price closed at $1.47, and someone went, oh, the last order was at $3.44. So someone, for some reason, thinks $1.47 is not high enough, so they want to put in a bid at. It's stupid. Why would you put in a sell bid at price significantly lower? And that is significantly lower. So what happens if this person really wants to sell? They can put in a bid at $1.41, and that will meet this bid at $1.42, and the share price will actually close at $1.42, not $1.41, $1.42, because it doesn't match up completely, and there will be 1,079 shares left on the sell bid at $1.41. And here, now if they put it at $1.40, the share price will close at $1.40, and all their shares will be sold out. First sold to these two traders at $1.42, and the first trade, if you look at the orders, and the last bit of the trade will be sold to this trader here who's trying to buy shares, 7,143 shares at $1.40. That's how the bid auction works. Hopefully that is clear. So if you go back to Telstra, and it has an indicated price, where if a closing auction happens at that second, where the share price will close, so $3.63. So all the bids above $3.63 will be successful, and all the sell bids below $3.63 will be successful, and there's quite a few. So this will oscillate during the next 8 minutes, and eventually we'll get to the closing auction. I won't go all the way to closing auction because you can just look at this yourself. You can just look at the surplus volume. So what it does, the surplus volume, is it looks at all the bids above $3.63, the indicated price, and all the sell bids, and it comes up with how much volume will be on the buy or sell bid. If it's negative, the volume will be on the sell bid. If it's positive, the volume will be on the buy bid. Which means if you put in a bid at $3.63 and in the last order there, your bid won't be taken out during the closing auction, but it will be if you have a sell bid at $3.63 because it's positive, not negative. Hopefully that makes sense. This is when you do see manipulation during the closing auction. Sometimes you will see one share traded just to force the share price down or up. So for instance, if you, for some reason, you really wanted to send EZZ Life Science share price down to $1.42, you just put in one bid at $1.42 at just one share at that price. Now, you don't usually see that. What happens is you get computers. I don't know if computers are doing this, but I have a feeling they are. So with Telstra, what the computers will do is they will try to match it up so they can force the share price of Telstra down by 1 cent or up by 1 cent by one share, just by selling or buying one share. So sometimes when you do look at the course of sales and when the finish or closing auction is completed, you'll see all the shares traded during the closing auction, and the last share traded sometimes is just one. And that one share alone can force the share price up or down by a percentage. Just one. So there is a bit of manipulation during the closing auction, just like there is manipulation during the opening auction. It's actually not caused the opening auction, it's caused something else. In fact, here's a good auctions. Auctions offer a transparent shingle price discovery in a concentrated event for buyers and sellers. So I will leave this link if you need a little bit more. Here it is, asset market price and settlement price calculation. I wonder if it's in that. Have a look at the asset opening hours. So, oh, that's interesting. So yeah, have a look at that. Anyway, that's all I have for this particular answer and reply video. If you have any questions, any thoughts, just leave it in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I am not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified. There we go. Here we go. EZZ Life Science. Someone is wanting to match the buyer or the seller at $1.45. So they bought in a buy at $1.45. That will be completely matched up. The share price will drop to $1.45. If they put $1.46, the share price will close at $1.46. I think that's how it works. Yes. I think so. Actually, I don't know. If you have 5,000 shares at $1.46, 5,000 shares at $1.45, would it be finishing at $1.45 or $1.46? I don't know the rules around that. And Telstra, let's go back to Telstra. Oh, they're both Telstra. They're both EZZ. Oh, indicator price is up. And surplus volume is down. Okay, so that's all I've got for today's video. If you have any questions, any thoughts, leave it in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.